Welcome, welcome, welcome. Special edition. Shy Rosalind presents It Happened One Night. How a man lost his mind and a live stream had to hide. So, anyway, what had happened was um one of the channels that I subscribe to, London Honor, he has a series of videos regarding Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson is a self proclaimed prince of Pan Africanism who has been soliciting donations to renovate some technically abandoned buildings in Delaware and make them into a school. I would suggest you visit Lennon's channel for all the details, but basically it's been over 10 years and nothing's happened with the school. A few things that have been done at the school are strictly cosmetic, and there's been no students, no teachers hired, no nothing. So, um, Saturday night, he was going live. We were reviewing some stuff that he had regarding Umar Johnson. And we the group of us that usually participate in the chat room, we call ourselves the Cookie Crush Chat. Now, I'm a fairly new member, but excuse me. Um but we were doing what we do, and a member of the chat comes in and says, that Umar was live on Instagram and TikTok, and he was talking about the Kyrie Irving situation. So, and there were a couple of comments about it, and so Lennon says, "Okay, we have to check out this video." So, actually, was it Friday? I think we were talking about it. Yeah, we were definitely talking about it Saturday, and so um we went ahead and decided he went ahead and pulled up the video. So, and like I was saying, it was a typical Saturday night. Um, he was doing Lennon was doing his thing. Cookie Crush, Cookie Crush chat. We were doing what we do. We crush. Come trolling in the chat room. We're gonna get you. And in a not a bad way. We don't bully anybody, but we do call out people who are trolling. So we're doing our thing. Everything seems fine. He pulls up the video that the some of the other people were talking about, and it started the way we usually expect it to start. you know Umar has dirty hair. This man desperately needs some shampoo and a haircut. His beard is a mess. His hands are swollen. I don't know why. I'm not going to speculate. Of course, he's doing his usual thing. He repeats everything 3 times in a row. um, whether that's OCD or not, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not a doctor. But it was basically what we expect a Umar Johnson video to be. And then, um, if going left was a person, this video would be it. This video went left and went left and went left again. Um, he started this Umar Johnson started discussing the Kyrie Irving situation. Now, there are several different schools of thought on this situation. Some people, said like, listen, why did he even retweet this documentary? It's anti-Semitic. Um, some people are of the mindset that, well, you know, certain people and this is Umar's one of those people who his school of thought is that certain people own certain industries and therefore they basically control who works in those industries, and if you don't toe the company line you're going to be punished just like slaves were punished on the plantation. And this is me summing up what he said in the nicest version possible. um One point that I will say that Umar Johnson made that made sense, and let me tell you, it was the one thing he said that made sense. The documentary that's in question, as of this morning, it was available on Amazon Prime. So why were people going after Kyrie Irving instead of going after Amazon? Because that's where it is. It's available on Amazon. So, and that's the one point that I will concede that actually makes sense. As far as the rest of what Umar said, it was vile. I mean, there's no other word I can think of. Now, just as a side note, I fell asleep before the end of Lennon's live. So I never really saw the very end of Umar's video, and I don't know what the final reaction of the Cookie Crush chat was because I fell asleep. It was like around midnight at this point. So I never really saw all of the chat. I did manage to see the rest of the video. The uncut video is still floating around here on YouTube. There is an edited video where the part that I'm going to discuss next is not uh, on the video. You can tell it's been edited. There's a jump. So both versions are floating around. So just, as a FYI. So what happens is Omar starts talking about a certain group of people and he calls them the Untouchables. So I'm just going to use that word, but that's his term. He starts referring to this group of people as the Untouchables. He starts talking about how, as I mentioned, the school of thought that they own everything in certain industries, and that if you're black and you're in one of those industries, namely sports and entertainment, you're basically owned by them and you're no better than working on a plantation. Okay, so that's the polite way of putting what he said. And and this is what I just talked about, because this is where it gets graphic, and this is where the vile comes in. I cannot give the details of what he said. If you can find the unedited video, you'll hear it for yourself. But basically, Umar proceeded to describe how back in slavery times, um, slave owners would make an example of one of the stronger male slaves and make a very violent example of them in order to keep the other slaves scared and in line. Um, Umar's description of it is very vile, it's very graphic, and as I said, I can't even get into the details because it can end up getting a strike on YouTube. That's how vile it was. Frankly, I'm surprised the unedited version is still floating around on YouTube. So when he started talking like that, he also accused these untouchables of orchestrating the deaths of various entertainers such as Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Prince, um, and some others. And those are other claims that he made in the video. Um, it was disturbing, and that is the nicest way of putting it. So Lennon's face, I can't even describe it. I mean, he looked like he was gonna throw up. the chat was almost had almost stopped. I mean, everyone kept saying, is did he say what I think he said? That was the running question. Like, he did not just say that. Um, that seemed to be the theme for the rest of the night. Um, and before I went to bed, he Umar took out a belt. I'm trying to remember if this was towards the end of the. I think it was towards the end of the video, because I that was one of the last things I saw before I fell asleep. He had a belt and he started talking about different um black sportscasters and other black celebrities, and he basically said, we need to bring back the whipping post. These people need to be taught a lesson, and I'm paraphrasing. Um, and he proceeded to name some names and sentence, quote unquote, sentence them to a certain number of lashes, and he kept snapping the belt. So at this point, people in the chat are like, what the heck? And Lennon, he's looking totally disgusted at this point, and he says, you know what? I think this live stream is going to end up being private. So at that point, I had gone to bed. I was really trying to see how it ended, but I couldn't take it. It was after midnight at this point, so I went to bed. Sunday, Lennon did a community post, and you can, I think, yeah, you should be able to see it because the community posts are public. Excuse me. And he said, and this I quote, due to the disturbing nature of the recent Umar video, I decided to set this video to private. It is clear to me that Umar has hit rock bottom. Um, there is a theory that Umar Johnson is having some kind of issues. There is a theory that he is a grifter, and he is like 2 steps from being homeless anyway. And the donations are basically what's keeping him, whatever donations he gets are basically what's keeping him going. There is a cease and desist on file by the state of, I believe it's Pennsylvania, that he's not allowed to solicit donations. He still does anyway. Um, so there's some wheels turning, and it's a lot going on with him. Um, and this Saturday night's video was just like, whoa. So, and afterward, the next day, when Lennon made the video private, it was a lot of, what happened? I missed it. I missed it. I missed it. Um, some people were upset, like, should just make it members only so that people can see it. And my thing is, y'all, you don't really want to see it. It went that far left. You really don't want to see it. But some people, were making comments that, they missed it, they wanted to see it. Some people had only seen part of it, and one person said they were in the middle of watching the replay and it went private. Not the replay, I'm sorry. They were trying to, yeah, it was a replay. They were trying to catch up and it just disappeared. It went private. So I had said, trust me, y'all don't want to see it. It was pretty bad. And some people were asking, like, okay, so what happened? What was the gist of it? So I decided to do this little video just, so people can get the gist of it. And as I said, the actual video is still floating around. I don't know how much longer it's going to be floating on YouTube, because even though Umar used code words to avoid um to avoid hate speech, it was still kind of hate speech, and the graphic descriptions. I don't know how long that. I think that's gonna end up getting the original video pulled at some point. And as I said, there is an edited version floating around that does not have that particular graphic description in it. So that one will probably stay floating around a little longer. Um so I mean, and most of us kind of agreed, like, yeah, this is beyond, like, this is not typical Umar, haha. Oh, there he goes again. This was like, this man is disturbed Umar. Um, and the thing is, there's nothing wrong with having an opinion. Like I said, there's several schools of thought. Umar is not the only one that comes up from the school of thought about certain people owning certain things and controlling certain things. Anyone who's worked in corporate America has experienced some form of discrimination, probably at some point. So that particular theory is not that far fetched sometimes. And it's okay to be passionate about your opinion. The debate is a debate. It's a good thing to be able to debate. However, this particular live stream was very disturbing. It kind of the disturbing parts overshadowed the point that he was trying to make. Um, so you kind of he kind of killed the messenger killed the message, basically. So it didn't feel right. I'm glad Lennon made. I'm glad he made it private. I think it should stay private. Um, Other people are talking about it. Let them talk about it. But it was just weird. So, we shall have to wait and see what's going to happen. But I appreciate everyone tuning in. For those of you who are trying to, like, what happened? What happened? I'm offering my little summary of what happened. And, you know, comments are welcome, likes are free. Um, if you have a question, please, go ahead and post your question in the comments. I'll do my best to answer it, and we'll see what happens the next live stream that Lennon does, and that's it, folks. So please like, subscribe if you're so inclined. Um, and hopefully, I'll see you guys on the next one. And this week, um, Beat in Chat will be back this Saturday, and Friday. Well, there will be an episode Friday. I don't know if it's funny news yet, but I will be back this week, Friday and Saturday. So I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their week. Tomorrow is election day. Please, please, please vote. It is so important. There is so much at stake. Y'all don't even know. So please go to the polls tomorrow. Please vote in your local elections. They're very important. And we'll keep our fingers crossed that the best people win. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Have a good one.